All right, good morning, guys. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Let's get sharing this here. Get this set up. All right. What's up, guys? Welcome in. Welcome in. Good morning. Good morning. What's up, everyone? We made it. We made it. Day one of the mastermind is here. Oh, baby. I am stoked, you guys. We have finally made it. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. We will be waiting just a minute here to let everyone roll in, and we will be off to the races here shortly. Got some very nice attendance this morning. Looks like we'll have just about everyone who is new for this mastermind here, just rolling in, which is awesome. Maybe a few familiar faces, but looks like pretty much all of our new friends, new mastermind folks, which is a good sign. Day one, it's that alarm comes early. I understand. So appreciate you guys being here. We usually wait 3 minutes. 3 minutes is kind of our standard leniency here at Uncommon Education Trading. So once we hit that 3 minute mark, so 6:18, that's kind of when we get started. If you're late at that point, then you're gonna be missing a few things, which is okay. But very excited to be going over what we call our kind of syllabus day today, or our setting the precedent, setting the stage for the rest of this week. So if you are a little groggy, if you are a little tired, don't worry. Today won't be too intensive in that regard. Awesome dinner last night for everyone who was able to come. We had a blast, watched the national championship game, had a lot of fun getting to meet a lot of you in person. Some delicious steak as always, and yeah, just a really fun night. So everyone who was there for dinner, appreciate you coming and joining. I thought we had a an excellent evening. Didn't go too late either. Just a solid night. And man, what a cool group we have. Really excited about this mastermind group. And what I was telling everyone last night, for those of you who weren't there, we have so many surprises for this mastermind group that we have never done before. And man, you guys are gonna be blown away. It's gonna be very, very cool. Things that you don't even know exist, or we have not like hinted at whatsoever. You guys are going to get here throughout this mastermind, so we are really excited for that. Well, guys, welcome. Okay, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is day one of our 16th mastermind. Okay, 16. I remember when we first started this, okay? The mastermind came about because I was offering one-on-one lessons with people, right? And it got to a point where it didn't really make sense to charge this crazy high hourly rate, right? But it also didn't make sense for me to just continue to do, it got to a point where I was doing a lot every day, and I was like, man, this feels like a job. I'm spending hours and hours and hours a day on these one-on-one calls, and it wasn't really as beneficial, right? And so the mastermind was like, hey, let's create a program and a system where we get together, keep it at the numbers we want. We like to keep it right around that 45 to 50 number. As you guys can see here on the Zoom call this morning, 51. That is the ideal number for us. We operate in a very, very efficient way here and get you guys, everything you need. But yeah, 16. Holy cow, that's crazy. And so number one, it's humbling. Someone right in business to be able to say, yeah, wow, like this is done well enough that we've done 16 of these. I think that shows the validity of the program. We would not be able to fill up 16 of these if we were not having awesome results from our members, if we weren't providing value. We would have probably only been able to run three or four just on, words alone. So it's credit to our team here at Uncommon, credit to, the system and, the strategies that we provide, and just to the community and how awesome of a community we have. So appreciate you guys being here. As I've said before, the mastermind kind of becomes my family over this time working together. We get to work together a lot. I don't have coworkers. I don't have other, people I work with. So it's pretty special, these mastermind groups. It's a lot more than just, teaching you a skill. It really is caring for you guys, wanting to help, helping you with your individual goals. So, like I say, really, really excited for that. Um, today, what we're going to be going over is again lesson one. You guys should be receiving a breakdown of the entire schedule and a few things here to start. Okay, a few things here to start before we kind of get into everything. Number one, okay, is with these mastermind sessions, with these mastermind Zoom calls, with everything that we do in the mastermind. You can always ask questions here in the Zoom chat. Okay, you can always ask questions here in the Zoom chat. I have it up at all times and I see it. Okay, I see it at all times. Just because I don't answer a question doesn't mean I won't. And more than likely, what will happen, guys, is if questions come, I'll either say, "Hey, let's wait until, the end when we have a Q&A portion," or when I open it up for questions, or if I see a question and I can quickly address it. A lot of times I'll say, "Hey, great question. Just know that we will address that later. So don't worry about it right now. We will get to that." Okay. It's really easy to get ahead thinking when we start going through the mastermind. So I'm not mad at you. I'm not angry with you. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. But if a question does not have relevance to what we are teaching and talking about at the moment, good chance I will tell you, "Hey, let's push that question back, or let's wait till the end," or whatever the case may be. And the reason for that is because we want to keep these sessions as on time as possible. The morning is a very condensed time where a lot of work needs to be done on my end. So that's why we do the 6:15 to 7 a.m. And then once we kind of get going, we'll push it back a little bit. Start times, once we kind of get through the educational portion, kind of week three, week four. Um, but just know that that's kind of how the framework's going to go, right? You guys can always ask questions. You can always message here in the chat, but good chance we'll have it saved to the end for Q&A, or I will tell you that we'll address those later. Okay. Next is some of you may or may not have been receiving emails up to this point. Everyone has been receiving emails. Sometimes they get sent to spam or junk. Sometimes, if you just joined like a day or two ago, right, that can be different. So the emails with the link, the text messages, all those types of things, if you are not receiving those, okay, or if you're having a hard time with that, reach out to either your sales rep, right, who spoke with you, whether that was myself, Carol, Leticia, Boston, or Gabe, right, and make sure you are on that list. Or you can always message us at Uncommon Education Trading on Instagram, or at Jeremy Lieber, which is my personal Instagram. Okay, so you can always reach out there, especially in these first few days if you feel like you're not getting on an email list or you're not getting set up there. Okay. Next is, as we go through the next however many weeks, right? You have the option to take notes, but it's not necessary. Okay. We record every session, so you can go back and review them later that day. We will typically upload these sessions pretty immediately following when we complete the session. But if for whatever reason, right, you are someone who desires to take notes, I am a big believer in taking notes, right? I know you'll have access to all this, and some of the tools and resources we have will be awesome. But yeah, there's never harm in taking notes, right? Even if you don't go back and review the notes, a lot of studies show that if you write or take notes or whatever the case be there, you are going to retain the information better, right? That's what studies show. Um, So with all that being said, each morning, right, we have a 3 minute grace period. We will get started pretty much right at that 6:18. Would like for you guys to be here at 6:15 just to make sure that, there's no issues with the audio or with, your connection, or just to make sure that you kind of have a few minutes to wake up and be ready to go. I know that the time is different, right? For the East Coast folks, not nearly as bad as for the West Coast folks and for the California folks. I know it's early, and so I appreciate you guys being here. We've said this a lot. If you do miss a class or two, it's during the week, it's not the end of the world, right? It's really not. Between all the resources that you're going to have that we'll be unveiling here soon, between the recorded sessions that we immediately upload, and then obviously having access to our weekend breakout sessions, where on the weekend you will have time slots to select if you want to take part in our breakout sessions to have additional questions, help, whatever the case may be. There really is no reason for you ever to feel like you are being left behind or falling behind, right? Again, this is our 16th one of these, and we feel like we've done a pretty good job of setting all that up. So, with all that being said, let's kind of walk through what this is going to look like. A little bit about me, kind of the goal of this mastermind, some of the maybe the differences and changes kind of we've been experiencing going into this, and we'll kind of get to that point and see how far we get along, and then we'll open up for some questions and some more examples. Okay, so I guess to start, for those who don't know, I'm Jeremy. I am the founder of Uncommon Education Trading. Um, the name Uncommon Education came from kind of a play on school and my distaste for it, I guess. I always struggled in standard or common school, what I call it. This is in pretty much since junior high, right? Seventh grade. I just had a hard time focusing, hard time finding relevance, and just never really cared. So, school was always really tough for me, which is hilarious because now, every year I present to a couple of universities, teaching options and teaching, kind of a little bit about the system, the strategy. I've taught entrepreneurship courses at universities over the years. It's really quite funny, right? And, even to this day now in our mastermind, I'm teaching people who probably have higher net worths than me, people who have big exits of companies that they were a part of, or, other entrepreneurs who have done extremely, extremely well. And don't get me wrong, I do well and it's awesome, but it truly is funny. Uh, 14-year-old Jeremy sitting in, seventh or eighth grade math class, not knowing how to do long division, which I still don't know how to do. Uh, Pretty hilarious to see where I'm at now. Again, being able to provide value to people who I feel are just so much smarter than me and so much more ahead of me. So, uncommon education, right? Kind of the everything you wish you would have learned in school but didn't. That's where that came from. A lot of you know that it started out with me screen recording videos. After 4 years of just getting my, you know, face kicked in the stock market, I started to find success. And as soon as I did and started posting about it, a lot of my friends started messaging, "Hey, you know, what's going on? How are you making all this money? What are you doing?" And so I literally started by screen recording videos and sending them to friends and having them Venmo me for these screen recordings. And that's how it started. It was like three or four of my friends. Then they told their friend, then their dad, then their mom. And then before you know it, I remember at one point, like, it was like the first of the month, and I sent out a few videos, and I think I had like, I don't know, I got $6,000 in Venmos sent to me, and I was just like, wow, like this is a lot of money. Like I should probably set up like an LLC, or I should figure out, some form of like automated payment system so I'm not having to track down all these people to Venmo me. Just so hodgepodge. Obviously, I had no desire to start whatever Uncommon Education has turned into. And it just kind of started to happen, and it happened fast. It was at a time where I was really different in the trading space. I mean, I feel like I am extremely different still. Focused more on, hey, let's live a life of freedom. Let's focus on spending time in the outdoors, fishing and golfing and spending time with my kids, not trying to buy the new, the new car, the new watch or, whatever. And yeah, it just kind of took off from there. So that's really how Uncommon Education came to be. There's no story of I wanted to help people. I've always had a desire to do this, to do that. It truly was like it just kind of happened. And what I came to realize as we started going along is that there really was nothing in the trading space that catered to beginners. Nothing. It was either way too confusing and way too broad to where if you try to get involved, it's like, well, good luck. Like it's way too confusing. Or they just were no good. They didn't know what it was that they were talking about. You could so easily spot that they weren't actually good traders themselves, or they didn't have a system. So, all of that being said, I have been a coach, a mentor, a leader, whatever you want to call it, for most of my life. Whether that's public speaking at different sporting events, I had some cool experiences and opportunities in sports that allowed me to, yeah, be able to speak to different groups in one capacity or another. Coached high school lacrosse, coached football for a number of years. Served a mission for my church and was able to be in leadership roles and help there. Have always been one to I don't know, be able to explain things simply, and so it just kind of fit to be in this role, and I actually enjoy it, right? I enjoy teaching. I enjoy helping people understand things that maybe they aren't able to understand from other people. So, all of that being said, really what led me to this was my background in sales, right? I did door-to-door sales for a number of years, selling pest control. Very difficult job, long hours, 80-hour work weeks during the summer. But it gave me a lot of free time when I wasn't during the summer, and it gave me money, right? I was actually pretty good at that, made money, which allowed me to focus and work on this. So that entire time during sales is what, I was doing, in my off time or my free time was learning how to day trade. And again, it took me just about 4 years to become profitable, which is a long time. It was a very long time and a lot of money lost. Um, and so my story is, yeah, it's like a lot of people's, but as opposed to starting a business or trying to get out of the rat race through, whatever ways people do. It really was believing in day trading and why I chose day trading, and then we'll kind of move on. And I think it's important so you guys can understand where my head's at and why I do what I do. Is when I was doing sales, I was making good money and I had my first kid, right? I always thought, man, there's got to be something that's going to get me out of this because I'd have to move every summer to a different state. The hours were so long and it was so tired. I mean, I've had chronic back pain issues from football. I'm like, this is not possible. Like knocking on doors from 9:30 a.m. till 9 p.m. with like a 1 hour lunch break during the summer, like giving up my entire summer. It was so brutal. It was so brutal. And so day trading was one of those things that always appealed to me because I thought, I don't know how it's being done, but there are people out there who are literally clicking buttons for like a few hours in the morning and making crazy money. I want to do that. And I remember telling myself, like, Jeremy, you don't know how to do this. You don't even know how to go about doing this, but you can figure it out, right? You figured out a lot of stuff in your life. Why not this? So ignorant, so not knowing what it was going to take to get here. But I just dove in head first, right? And I think there's a lot of truth to that in life is that, you know what? There is never the right time. There is never the right way. You could always be more prepared. But the one thing that you just can never make up for, and no matter what your knowledge base is, if you are not willing to make moves or take action, you will never grow. You will never change. You will never experience, progress in reaching your goals. So, huge credit to each of you, right? On this call right now, we have 55 of you who are choosing to, of your own volition, wake up early, learn a new skill, try to better your life, focus on the things that are important to you. And I know that you guys have jobs and you have kids and you have school and you have all these different things, all the reasons in the world to not do this. And so I want to start by seriously congratulating you guys for taking these steps. It's no small feat to actually take that jump or start moving in any direction. And the fact that you guys are here, regardless of everything, already puts you in the top upper echelon of people who are successful and live lives that they want to live. And that really was what trading had that nothing else did, is that it was, wow, I can actually have my time. I can actually have my day to day. I can actually do what I want on a day-to-day basis, right? I shared last night at the Mastermind dinner three kind of key moments of my life over the last year or two where I just thought to myself, my goodness, thank God I did not give up. Like, thank goodness that I stuck with this because, man, I am getting to do exactly what younger Jeremy had envisioned when he started trying to learn this skill set. So that's my goal really for each of you, whether that's more time with your kids, more time with the hobbies that you love, more time to wake up and chill, right? Talked to a few of you last night about how some of my favorite days are just waking up, trading, being done at 8:30 and then just looking around and kind of being like, wow, I have nowhere to be. I don't have to leave the house. I can put on a bathrobe. I can go take a bath. I can hot tub. I can go get a massage, right? It's the best. So, that's my goal for each of you, right? The money, of course. Do I want you guys to make money? Obviously. But I think what people don't realize is this life that I think so many people are seeking in today's world, a life where you don't need to ask for time off. You make enough to live the life that you want. It's not a lot. It does not take a lot to get there. Like, actually the dollar amount to live the life that I'm describing, it's it's so achievable. It is so achievable for every single one on this call. And so I want you guys to know that, and that's kind of like my why or my reasoning behind why I got involved with this because I think some people, right, if they are providing a course or providing education, it's like, yeah, it's so you can make all this money, you can do all this. And it's like, yes, but truly, you need to understand that when you start making money with this, which is why it's so important to focus on getting the skill set down, as soon as the money starts coming in, the freedom immediately comes with it. Okay. It's not like most jobs where, oh yeah, I rose the ranks and now I'm making all this money, but now my day is completely engulfed with this. Right. Like I worked my way up to a VP of sales role, which was my last role before I started doing this full time. And I mean, this was 5 years ago. So keep that in context. I had a $250,000 salary. I had profit sharing. I had a company car. I had all that you could ever want. But man, my days were busy, right? It's like that's your life. That's what's going on. So, more money truly does not equal more happiness. More money should, if you're doing it right, if you're playing the game of life right, it should provide you with more freedom, right? And so few people have that as a reality. So, as a day trader, when you start to make more money and when you start to find consistency, freedom immediately comes. Immediately, right? And that's just not the same in most careers or most job opportunities. So, really grateful that I found something that has provided me with that. I'm super happy that you guys are learning this skill to provide that. And that really is my goal. I want you guys to find freedom in your day-to-day life. So, let's talk about a few things, okay? So, the real statistics, okay, of why 95% of day traders fail. First of all, that number varies, right? You can Google some places, some say 97% fail, some say 90% fail, right? Whatever. The reality is, most consensuses show that day trading and starting a business have the same success rate. Okay, so think about that for a second. Day trading and starting a business have the same success rate. And so, for whatever reason, in society, right, if you tell your friend that you're starting a business, what's the reaction? Oh my gosh, congratulations. That's amazing. Wow, good for you. Wish you the best. When I started day trading, it was crazy. I was just met with unbelievable resistance and negativity and just like, oh, that's impossible. Do you know the statistics? Like, No one says that when you start a business. No one's like, "Oh, like, do you know the statistics of starting a business? Like, you're gonna fail. Like, there's a 94 or 95% chance you will fail if you start a business." Like, you don't hear that. And so I've always been so curious at why day trading is met with that negativity. And you know what it is? And this is the truth. Again, having done this for the amount of time I have done this now, and just the truth of it all is that people don't want you to live a better life than they are, right? People don't want to ever feel like, wow, I'm not doing it right, right? Like the worst case scenario for a lot of people is that you, their friend or their family member makes a living by 8:30 in the morning and then you just get to do whatever the hell you want for the rest of the day. That's like most people's nightmare because if that happens, then you have essentially broken the code or you have cracked the whatever on how to live life on your own terms. And most people have spent decades trying to build that and have found themselves stuck, right? In a position they don't want to be in. So I truly don't think it's for any other reason other than, yeah, people are jealous. People are, yeah, it's the peanut butter and jealous. You got it. Sure will, Julio. Sure will. Be uploaded later today. So, that's what I believe. And so it's one of those things that, you know what? Tell the people that believe in you what you're doing and don't tell the people you don't or that don't believe in you what you're doing, right? Or if you are like me, who cares? It's your life. My goodness, right? Like I've always found that so fascinating. It's like, hold on a second. Like you're telling me that you want to do something with your life that you think is going to make your life better but you're not going to do it because what someone else thinks? Like what does that mean? Like what in the world? What in the world is that frame of mind? That makes no sense to me. It's your life. It's not anyone else's life. No one else has control of your life. It's your life. You're the one who decides. So if you want to do something, you feel like it's a good move and a good decision, then why on earth would you even care for half a second what someone else would think, right? And again, trust me, when I started and like there was no, it's not like I was following some mentorship. It was just like, hey guys, yeah, I'm figuring this out. I'm diving in the stock market, right? Everyone who knew me and how bad of a student I was and just my nature, they're like, dude, are you serious? Like, what are you thinking, you know? And so it did. It took just a crazy level of I do not care for me to get to this point. And again, very grateful that I had that and was able to get to that point. A few other fun things. Okay, so over the years, I have never really shared my year to year results. I've always felt that it's kind of a damned if I do, damned if I don't. I share, it's like, cool, yeah, that's great. You should be making that much. Or if I share and then it's like, oh, you know, I know someone who makes more day. It's just like it doesn't really matter in that regard. I let my lifestyle do the talking more so. I let, my day to day do the talking there. I can tell you that I left my job as the VP of sales when I started to make a pretty good amount more than what I was making as the VP of sales, which I told you that. And again, that was before any type of mastermind or uncommon education money started to come into the picture. So I have had with our group over the years some pretty fun successes. There was a time where a couple years ago started with a $2,500 account, turned it into a $26,000 account in just over, I want to say it was like a month and a half. It was not a long time. So that was fun. Flipped and turned 30,000 to 90,000 in about the same time frame, basically the same idea, just with a larger scale. And we'll periodically and regularly show and share my profits. Obviously, we have our follow trades program now, which has been its own set of interesting, change with different programs, and now it's more so the coding side of things. But again, my results have been awesome there. So I've been trading for a long time. It's almost 10 years now, or just about 10 years. And it comes with a lot of experience, right? A lot of experience on what works, what doesn't, what type of issues beginners run into, what type of issues happen when you start trading with more money, what issues you face when you're trading with small amounts of money. Point being, is I share this with you to say, hey, this is not my first rodeo with our 16th mastermind and 10 years in the market. There's truly nothing that you can say or do that will shock me or offend me or worry me. There's nothing, right? And I think that's a really important thing to understand is that as we go through this mastermind, you need to be willing to ask questions. You need to be willing to ask for help, right? If you're not understanding something or if you need help in one area or another, right? You're going to have a lot of resources to help you. Tomorrow, we will be sending out in class phone numbers, right? And ways to contact us if you need additional help. We're kind of getting that all set up today, making sure we send out everything properly. But there's no excuse, right? Other than I cannot read your mind, right? As much as I would love to just telekinesis, be like, okay, you know, vet here, she's thinking this, like, okay, yep, I'm gonna reach out to her and help her out. We have, I can't do that, right? So you have to let me know what's going on. When we start asking you to submit your trades to be reviewed, submit your trades. That doesn't mean cherry pick the good trades and don't send me the bad trades. I honestly don't care about your good trades. I want to see the embarrassing trades. I want to see the bad trades. I want to see why it didn't work, right? So just know that you get in what you or you get out of this what you put into it. And what that comes down to is seeking help, right? You're paying a lot of money to receive my help. You are paying to have me assist you in this program. So don't be the person who just never reaches out or never asks for help because you're scared or nervous to, right? That's the whole point of this. And there's just a lot of truth to that in life, right? You don't have to do anything alone. You don't. You never truly have to do something alone. There's always going to be people there to help. And in this particularly, I am here to help you guys. Okay. So, truly, our goal on top of the freedom that we just discussed is I want you guys to gain a full understanding of how to trade options, the strategies we use, and how to trade futures, right? And you don't need to have any prior knowledge to learn these things. And when I say know and understand, I'm talking about, we talked about this last night, is after 4 weeks, you guys, you will know everything I know. Truly, you will know everything that I know, which is crazy. The knowledge base and understanding is actually quite simple, but where this becomes something that takes time, just like learning a language, just like anything else, is the practice because it is a skill, right? We are making quick game time decisions. We are implementing strategies, right, quickly, and we are actually executing it. It is a skill to enter and exit a trade, right? You have to know how to do that efficiently and effectively. So we're going to teach you and help you master those elements, okay, and those things. Another goal is you need to develop, and I will help you develop the correct mental discipline to trade the market instead of gamble the market. The process is so simple, guys. What it is we need to first learn what in the world we're looking for, okay? Because we're looking to enter. So if we're looking to enter, we need to know what we're looking for, right? It's like if you want to go, hey, walk into this house, that's your goal today. Well, you need to know what the house looks like, what the color of the door is, if there's a lock on the door, right? If there's a garage code, whatever. Like you need to be able to look for that. And then you need to go look. You need to start looking. Yep, it's in this general vicinity. Great. So you start looking around. Cool. You identify the house, right? Great. You see the house. Now you need to walk up to the house and get into the house. Well, how do you get into the house, right? All that information. It's the same thing here. So number one, you need to identify what it is that you're looking for. Okay. And that is what we are learning the first 3 to 4 weeks is what we're looking for and understanding what it is that we are looking for. Then you have to be patient enough and wait until what you are looking for presents itself. It's not like you're going to try to walk into some random house, right? If I'm like, yeah, go into this house, no other house. Well, there might be hundreds of houses that you pass, but it's not like, oh yeah, this house looks pretty good. I'm just gonna enter into this one. No, you enter into the house that you were told to enter into. It's the same thing with the strategies, right? You know what you're looking for. So in the stock market, don't enter a trade until it's the house you're looking for, until it's the strategy that you are looking for. So that patience, right, is the second element. You first need to know what you're looking for, then you need to wait until you see that, right? You need to be patient enough to say, hey, I haven't seen what I'm looking for yet, so I'm gonna wait. And then once you see it, be like, cool, there's the house, or yep, there's the setup. You need to quickly be able to execute. You need to quickly either be able to know how to get into the house, or you quickly need to be able to know how to get in and out of a trade, what your strategy parameters are, meaning where you're going to exit for a win, where you're going to exit for a loss. So the third part is the execution, right? So the two hardest parts, right, in trading for sure is number one, learning what it is that you're looking for. And that's what 99% of day traders don't have. They don't know what they're looking for. They're just in there gambling. They're just kind of, hey, I think it's going to do this. Hey, I think it's going to do that. It's at a high point. So now I'm going to try to short it. Or it's at a low point. I'm going to try to go. It's right. There's no strategy. There's no system. So that is for sure number one. You have to learn what you're looking for and you have to learn a system. But then number two is the patience, right? The patience to wait for what you are looking for is so hard because you will see all day long this person doing this. Someone posted in the Discord channel they made $4,000 in the first 15 minutes. And you're like, what the heck? I didn't see that. What's going on? And then your Instagram's just going to get peppered for new strategy this, new AI that, new indicator this, blah 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 blah. So it's so easy to get sidetracked, right? And that patience and discipline and cool, here's the strategy, here's what I'm looking for. Everything else is just outside noise. I need to keep that out of my peripherals. That is a skill, right? And it's hard. It's going to take some practice for you guys to get there. Cool thing is with our strategies is they present themselves multiple times every morning within that first hour across all the different stocks that we trade. It's unbiased because we make money whether a stock can go up or whether a stock can go down. We just are identifying, trying to identify which way that goes. Okay. So those are the first two things that we need to figure out and that we got to master, right? Is the mental discipline of trading, which ultimately comes down to once you know what you're looking for, can you stay patient enough and wait for that to occur? And then when it does, implement without hesitation the knowledge that you have and have learned and trusting that system. Okay. So we're going to teach you how to do that. And that's one of the goals of this mastermind. Another massive goal is to learn how to become a good loser. Okay. It's so funny how losing's perceived in this world, right? I tell people all the time the reason I have succeeded as a day trader, as a business owner, as just whatever in life truly is because I believe I have failed more than most people have ever tried, right? I literally believe, and I all but know that I have failed at more things than most people have tried. So the amount of things that I have tried is astonishing, right? It's honestly kind of sickening if you look back. It's nuts. You just can't be afraid to lose, right? And that principle in trading is so important because part of what day trading is keeping losses small, right? Our metrics, kind of our golden nugget metrics where you start being like, cool, start getting ready to send in your resignation letter to your job, or hey, time to start increasing position size, or hey, you're really getting this, is when you have a 60% win rate and your average win is twice as big than your average loss. That's kind of that golden metric, right? Anywhere around there is such a good place to be in, and you will be making consistent money. But the only way that works, guys, it doesn't matter if you're so good at seeing the inches, if your wins are awesome. The only way that happens is if you keep your losses small. So every class, there's usually one moment that I'm like, hey, listen up, pucker your ears. I need you to focus, whatever you got going on right now, really listen in. This is that moment. You will never succeed as a day trader if you do not first learn how to lose and manage your losses. You never will. It can't be done. Million to a million undefeated, you will fail as a day trader if you do not learn and follow the stop loss or the exit criteria on losing trades. It can't be done. It has never been done. It never will be done because it truly doesn't matter how good you are at winning if when the losses come around they're huge losses or they mess with the reward to risk scale that we build out. And so this is your warning. Okay, this is your full warning here that if you ignore the stop loss, the risk management parameters of this program, you might as well just pack it in right now. You might as well just say, okay, that was good, that was fun. Guess day trading's not for me. Okay? That's the level of importance. Like truthfully, it is not like wearing a seatbelt. It's not like a safety harness. It's literally jumping out of an airplane without a parachute. That's what it is. Okay? If you do not follow your stop loss, you are jumping out of an airplane without a parachute. You will die. you will lose every time. Okay? You can't beat gravity. Sorry, folks, right? You can't. Okay? So we clear on that, right? You have to learn how to become a good loser. And so how do you learn to become a good loser? Well, you're going to learn from a guy who has lost a lot in his life, right? I have lost a lot, and I have figured out a pretty good system to mentally approach losing as well as just as a trader logically approach losing. It's logically makes sense. So we're going to teach you guys how to become good losers, and I'm really excited for it. But just know that that is a skill that you're going to have to figure out. There, if you're a sore loser or you're just one of those people who just doesn't handle losses well, you're in for a treat. It's gonna take some growth. And again, no one really likes losing. I don't like losing, but learning how to lose is everything as a day trader. Okay. We're gonna teach you guys how to consistently profit with small amounts. Okay. When we start teaching you how to set up your account and going through all this, we want you to start with anywhere from 300 to $1,000. The max we want you to start trading with is $2,000 in your trading account, right? One of the biggest misconceptions that you got to start big and do all this. No, if you have $1,000 in a trading account and you can't consistently find winning setups with one contract, I can assure you, you are not going to find consistent winning setups with a bigger account. It's going to make it harder and easier to make mistakes. So we start really, really slow. Okay. We start really slow and really small, and we'll get into that. But again, we're talking 300 to $2,000 max in your trading account is what we're going to teach you to start with. When we start trading at week 4, week 3.5, week 4 mark. So that's another thing that you're going to learn how to do. And I'm excited to show you how that's possible and how we do it. Okay. We're going to walk you through our Discord channel, how to access everything there. We're going to walk you through, and this is the first time we're even mentioning it, our UET Trading Hub, which is exclusive for our Mastermind members. And we have not officially rolled out yet, but you guys will be the first batch of individuals that will have. It is mind-boggling. It is so cool. I'm so excited to roll that out. We're going to teach you how to scale up your position size. Okay. So when you start developing that consistency and you have some of these metrics in place, we're going to teach you, cool. Here's the process of how to start increasing position size, how to start increasing, right, the dollar amount on the trades you're taking. There is a right way to do that and a wrong way to do that. Okay. So we're going to walk you through that. We're going to teach you how to operate Charles Schwab, Thinkorswim, what you are looking at here. You guys will become masters of this platform. You will become extremely efficient at what it is that you do on this platform. Okay, so you're going to learn all of these elements throughout this mastermind. And then throughout all of this, of course, I'm going to be working with you individually on your trades and on your system to help you see where you can improve. One of the biggest misconceptions is that one size fits all in day trading could not be farther from the truth, right? Some of you are going to do better with strategies that are continuation strategies, meaning when a stock continues to go in a direction, those are the strategies that you're just naturally going to see better. Some of you are naturally going to see reversal strategies better, where price reverses, as we're seeing here, right? Price goes up, it goes down. You're going to have a better time identifying these strategies than identifying these continuation strategies, right? Some of you are going to want to hold on to trades for long, right? Sometimes minutes to hours, chasing bigger moves. Some of you are going to want to get in and out of trades extremely fast and quick, right? Sometimes within a matter of seconds, even. The beautiful thing is, it's all dependent on who you are as a person, your personality, your relationship with money, and everything else that has made you who you are today. And that is where I come in, right? When we start trading, you will be submitting every single trade that you take, good or bad, to me so I can review it, right? And again, I'm not hopping on and being like, oh my gosh, you're so pathetic. What a loser. What a terrible trade. You should, give up right now. Like I'm disgusted at you. Like that is not how I ever operate, right? I'm there to help you. So I'll usually start by laughing if it's a loss. I'll be like, oh my gosh, I know exactly why you did this. I've been here before. Don't stress. Or if it's just the most embarrassing trade ever, again, that's all part of it. But as we start going through that and I start reviewing your trades, I start to track and keep track of these things with each one of you and help create a personalized game plan. Okay. And it's cool. Some of the new resources we have, even on like the coaching side of this new UET trading hub that I'm kind of hinting at, is going to be incredible for me and provide me with insights that help me help you even better. Okay. So, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Last thing here, and then we'll open up for any questions you guys have, is as we go through this, okay? Some of you might catch on so fast, have very little issues with anything, and you'll start making money pretty much right away, right? About 20, 25%. That's what the story is. Others of you, it's going to take months. It's going to take, a lot longer to get there. You can't you can't base success off of time, right? Success comes from learning the skill set the right way, practicing and improving, and getting to a point that meets your goals, right? And everyone's goals are different. So this comes down to the comparing. It's really easy for you guys to compare to each other or to others of, hey, they're having all the success, they're making all this money, they're doing all this, but every story is different. And you may not know what's going on behind closed doors in their life, and you may have things going on that we don't know behind closed doors in your life, right? So, point being is don't compare. Follow the system, follow the process, follow the program. This is a lifelong skill set. And if you truly want to learn it the right way, which is going to allow you to have freedom and all these opportunities for the rest of your life, it doesn't matter how long it takes. I remember when I was going through it, I literally thought to myself, I don't care if this takes me 10 years. It could take me 10 years and I'm still going to figure it out because once I get there, I know it's going to be worth it. Obviously, it didn't take that long, but you have to have that mindset. Okay. Um, Guys, I'm so excited. It's going to be so much fun. It can be overwhelming to look at all this and be like, oh my gosh, but don't worry, we slow it down tremendously. We break everything down so simply because we have these 45 to 50-minute sessions and we have it every day during the week. I can go over things so slowly and help you see how things work, right? That's another big reason why I do those little challenges, the 5 day, 3 day challenges, is it helps me teach quickly. And when I can get good at teaching and understanding quickly, then when I actually have time to teach, what's going on, I can do so even more clearly with better understanding. But I am really, really looking forward to working with you guys. It's going to be so much fun. I want your goals to be made known to me, right? If you have goals and desires in your life, let's work through those. Let's figure out what it is. If you're someone who wants an extra $100 to $200 a day and that would change your life, let me know, right? And then let me help you get there. If you're someone who has big ambitions and want to make 20, $30,000 a month plus, tell me about it. Like let's figure what looks like and see, how we can get you there quickly. But overall, guys, just know that I am here for you. I dedicate my life to you during the mastermind. It's pretty remarkable how much I come to care about each one of you throughout this whole process. I kind of clear the schedule. I try my best to just be able to provide you with everything that I have and give you my best each morning. And so all I ask in return is that you give me yours, right? You give me yours. You just follow the program, follow the process. We don't do like homework. We're not ever gonna say, hey, spend 4 hours today after class doing this. That's like no, like it's the class. It's really all it is, and then trading, right? And there's really not much beyond that. So with that being said, how are we feeling, guys? Are we excited? We excited to kick things off and get started? Feel like today is a good precursor day, good lead up day. We're getting ready for what's to come, kind of our syllabus day, I guess you could call it. But I hope you guys are as excited as I am. It should be a lot of fun. As we wrap up here, is there any questions that you guys have? Any last questions that you guys have for me before we hop off? Again, setting the stage today. And then tomorrow we are hopping into it, guys. We are hopping into it. Any questions for today? Hopefully, everyone's just feeling good and excited. I know I sure am, and I'm really looking forward to what's to come. I really am. So, tomorrow we will be sending out contact information for everyone, right? Who it is, what their role is, how they can help. We'll start to unveil some of the other things that we have going on here. A little bit learning, or a little bit later on. And you betcha, Yvette takes one to know one. My ADD brain, that's why this works because I've got the same brain you do. But no, it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. It's going to be a great process. It's going to be a really fun community. You guys are going to get to know each other really, really well over the next few weeks. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, without anything else or without I guess further ado, that's it for today. Week one, day one in the books. I had so much fun at dinner with everyone last night. Thanks for coming. I can't wait to dive into tomorrow where we actually start talking about what the stock market is, what stock options are, like actually what in the world it is we're trying to figure out here. So yeah, it's gonna be a blast, and just know that I'm here. I'm here for you. I look forward to these masterminds so much, you guys. I really do. It's such an incredible way to connect with people who are like-minded and also to, help you get to where you want to be with this skill that has helped me in my life so much. That's truly all it comes down to. So tomorrow we'll be back out at 6:15 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. We'll be going over what the stock market is and what in the world it is that we're learning over the next, months together, working together and figuring out how to best approach it. We'll have all the contact info tomorrow. If you have, again, before tomorrow, questions about email lists or you're not getting info, feel free to message us at Uncommon Education Trading on Instagram or at Jeremy Lieber. We can respond on both of those. Otherwise, best of luck to all of you today who are already trading. For those who are off to work or doing other things today, I wish you the best as well and hope you have a fantastic Tuesday. And I will plan on seeing you guys tomorrow for kind of the official start of new information. It's gonna be a blast, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks so much for being here. Really looking forward to tomorrow. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out. And I will see you guys in the morning at 6:15 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Peace, guys. Thanks so much.